I got Charlie Gasparino here. I want to talk about Tesla with Charlie, but I do want to get his quick thoughts on the markets and all this optimism. What's going on?
Well, I mean, we generally have a good economy, right? Corporate tax cuts are really good. The one blemish on the Trump economic plan, and I think it's a big blemish, and so does the markets, is trade. You know, does he go into a trade war or not, right? If he does a trade war, you take down all corporate earnings will get impacted, okay? No doubt about it. And we're already seeing some of it.
So you resolve that. It doesn't have to even be a great deal, but whatever
you resolve
do.
that is a huge weight off the markets. They will respond positively. Now, obviously,
we had some of this morning. I was something on Maria's show, you know, and said it's at least another 8% pickup in the market.
It has to be, right?
Really?
At least short term.
Okay.
Because if you take that out, there's a good chance that those GDP numbers. Think of it this way.
That's true.
Rationalize it this way. GDP numbers will stay strong. We could pay down the debt if the GDP stays around 3%, and you know, interest rates will remain low, and then you just factor all that in.
Understood. Switching now to the story you broke, and you keep breaking more stuff on it. What is going on?
Well, yesterday we broke that the SEC has now launched a formal investigation into Tesla and Elon Musk's tweet that he had funding secured, whether he really did or not. There's obviously great skepticism that he did have funding secured for his plan to take it private. When he said that, it's still unclear whether he has any funding at all for this thing. We shall see. We should point out that Mr. Musk says he's done nothing wrong, so that's his side of the story. But now, here's what we know from inside the Tesla camp. Now, we should point out they've lawyered up like never before. They have three outside law firms: Cahill Gordon, Paul Weiss, Latham & Watkins, all representing various facets of the company, from the company to the board to the independent directors that are looking to bring it private. So there's a lot of lawyers, and those lawyers, one of their main worries, in addition to the SEC, is the private litigation, and they're starting to think about how much potential liability exists in the private litigation if investors sued because claiming that they lost money based on Musk's tweet, which isn't accurate, okay? Which if it's deemed to be not accurate by regulators, that's where the liability comes in. And listen, the SEC could fine you millions of dollars. Where the private litigation comes in, if you look at the history of these corporate scandals in the past, I'm not comparing what Elon Musk did to Enron, but I'm just using it as a comparison. If you look at when corporate companies, you know, had problems, Enron, WorldCom, the private litigation dwarfed anything the SEC. We're talking billions versus
so you don't even
millions.
have to get to that level. The potential liability is just civil and related action.
It could be huge. Now, here's where it could multiply even more. If in an SEC settlement, let's just say he settles, and the SEC really wants to put its foot down and said, listen, we need an admission of guilt. In the old days, the SEC would say, you neither admit nor deny wrongdoing. That was stamped, and you know that helped you with private litigation. Now the SEC is going out and forcing some companies and some individuals to admit they did some wrongdoing in whatever they did. If Musk, in reaching a settlement, I'm saying if because we're not even there yet, we're just at the investigative stage. But if he has to admit some level of wrongdoing, that will ramp up the litigation even more. And that's one of the things that the lawyers inside the company are really worried about. Because if you look at this tweet, I mean, I don't know how you get your hands around it being accurate in any way.
Now, I'm not a lawyer. We had someone on this morning who said what you really desperately need is someone from Saudi Arabia, the sovereign fund or funds, whatever it was, to say, yeah, we had contacted him and we're very confident that we could get finance, and he's off the hook. I think I'm oversimplifying that. But what do you make of that?
Well, the problem is his own statement. I mean, that could be true.
Right.
But if he's saying funding secured, if you read what he put out, that's what he tweeted. If you look what he put on his blog.
But what if they put it out there and said, yeah, we pretty much assured him that we could get the money together? See, I don't know what.
But he said that.
He made it sound definitive, it's done.
And he made it sound, and in his blog post, he dug himself in the hole where he said the Saudi Arabians said, yes, they'd like to do it.
But see what I'm saying cynically? What do the Saudis have to lose? You're vouching for him?
Because they still have to go through due diligence. And he actually said that, if that's the case, if they can really do it. And by the way, we've seen, the weird thing is we've seen no word that there is.
Yeah, I don't know, but that was explained to me, by the way, that could end it because it could give credence.
Barring due diligence. Remember what he said in the second tweet or the second blog? They've expressed great optimism that they could do it based on due diligence and dotting the I's, crossing. You could read his blog himself, which, again, that would have been a more appropriate thing to tweet out.
I think it was all stream of consciousness.
CEOs should never
have stream.
And by the way, you hurt people when you do that because people trade on this stuff. They buy or sell.
Don't tweet.
I know. That's what my wife keeps telling me. And look at me.
Because that could bite you.
Yeah. I mean, did you see the last Mediaite? God, these guys.
What happened to you now?
Last week I tweeted out a sweaty picture of myself to some troll, and they wrote a whole thing. Or they wrote like an investigative report on this stuff.
Yeah. Well, I
just want to know all these media like watchdogs. I mean, they cover the media more than they cover news. They cover whether
maybe that's why it's
posting
media.
Posting sweaty pictures is a big story.
Well, whatever you're into. All right. Thank you, Charlie, very much. Breaking news left and right, and still finding time to work out.